so glad that you're here to join us today for a special emergency mission, Operation Good Fortune. And actually, just a little bit about how this started. Sherry and I were talking, or just texting, I suppose. And can you believe that Sherry and I've never met each other? Like most of us secret agents haven't met each other before. However, there's something really sweet that happens when we share kindnesses together, and we've really missed doing that with you. Sherry, you want to say something about that?
I do. Yeah. I just want to say that it's been a month since we did our first emergency mission. And Rosemerry and I were just talking about that, like how much we've missed you, how much it means to us to have this community, to have each other, to know that we can come together almost at a moment's notice, which is how this one came about, really, and just be together and to offer each other support, and also, of course, then have those ripples of love out in the world.
Yeah. And Sherry and I were thinking, things are serious, and things have been serious, and the gravity of it all has been affecting us. I'm guessing that it's been affecting you also. And Sherry said, I wonder if we could come up with something lighthearted, something fun to help balance that, because laughter is so healing, and that lightness of being is so fun. And when she said that, I thought, yeah, but that means I'd have to write a kind of a lighthearted poem. And I've been writing very, heavy poems, I think, lately, suited to the times. But that night, I think just because of that suggestion, it just showed up, the opportunity to be playful, the opportunity to be silly and fun and imaginative. So thank you, Sherry, just for planting that seed that it was possible.
And thank you for jumping on it like that. And I want to say hi to people who are joining us. I don't know why, but for some reason today, everybody is named Facebook user. And it's just,
Facebook users.
So if you would, we'd love it if you would say, hi, it's Jenny. Hi, it's Susan. Hi, it's Ed. Whoever's here, so that then we know we can see your name. The world is just upside down. And some weird things are happening. But this is all part of it. And yeah, so I guess the only other thing I wanted to say to that is that in no way do I ever want to disrespect what's going on in this moment of time, because we know, the loss and the grief and the loss of jobs, and people are sick. Oh, hi, Paula, Nori. Oh, Sunshine Girl, Wendy. I love this. It's so fun. Mwah. And so I never want to disrespect what people are going through. And yet, like Rosemerry was saying, I've been thinking a lot about this too. Oh, Shellen and Jean. Hi. It's fun to see you guys. I have been thinking so much about, for myself, the moments of laughter with my friends and family. I just feel like it just really serves my whole system. And it makes me more available to people too. I think it makes me more able to show up in the next moment with whatever that person in front of me needs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe just the invitation to authentically meet that moment, and to know that it's okay if you authentically are feeling happy, light, playful. That there's room for that.
There's room for that, right? And I think that's been like my message to this whole past month is there's room for whatever's going on for you, and I really just, the biggest thing is that people trust themselves. They trust what's going on. They trust that, whatever you're going through is perfectly fine. I just think that's the message I've been wanting to say to people.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Eduardo.
Hello, Ed. On that note, here's today's poem. It's called Fortunate. Tonight, I want to break into the fortune cookie factory, armed with millions of tiny rectangular papers that I'd surreptitiously slip into the thin folded wafers. You will say 5 nice things in the next hour, says one, and you'll bake something nice for your neighbor. Every fortune will predict a generosity of spirit. A grudge you've been gripping will disappear. Gratitude for the smallest things will flood you. And on the back, it will acknowledge that to make any number lucky, you simply write a check using that number to a local charity. The more zeros you add to the number, the luckier that number will be. Or perhaps a better idea, fill each cookie with a blank slip of paper, some small scrap of potential that invites every person to write their own fortunes, lets them feel like the author of their own destiny. In fact, here's a pen and a very small white page. You don't even need the cookie. Thanks for helping me think of something kind of fun and playful. To write something fun and playful, and who knows where the fortune cookie idea came from, but it was pretty fun.
I love that so much. And hi, Dorothy, by the way, nice to see you too. And if there's anybody else who's joined us that we haven't seen, hello. We're so glad it's you guys. The interesting thing that happened then, right? So then you sent me that poem, and I immediately wrote back to you and said, "Oh, this is so great because I have a thing for fortune cookies." And it's kind of one of the really wonderful things I love to play around with anyways when I'm giving gifts. And I'll tell you more about that. But shall we have our prompt?
Let's hear the prompt, Miss Sherry.
Oh, I love it. I love it. No cookie needed. Here is the pen.
Although, if you want a cookie, yes, of course, by all means, cookie. You can have a cookie.
Oh, look. I love that someone posted a fortune cookie. I'm sorry, we don't know who you are, but I love that. Okay, secret agents. First of all, thank you, Rosemerry. What would we do without you? What would we do without your amazing poetry?
I'm awfully happy you think that.
We would be lost in this world without you. All right, so secret agents, your good fortune mission, should you choose to accept it. There's several possible actions for this mission. So we need our agents to be operating at every level for this one. So we want you to just kind of consider, as I'm reading the different possibilities. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the comments. I'm not going to do it. I really want you all to just check in with yourselves as I'm reading the possibilities and see, like, well, what feels right for you today or tomorrow to do this, okay? So the first one is simply invite someone verbally to share what they would want their fortune cookie to say. So, you would help them dream of good things to come, hold the vision with them, and share yours. So let yourself dream, hope, and imagine. And this mission doesn't require anything besides that, just to connect with someone, tell them about this. You could read them Rosemary's poem, which we'd be posting in the group if you want, or you could just say, we're doing this crazy fortune cookie thing, and my kindness mission is to connect with you and find out, like, what are you hoping right now? What's the good fortune that you would like to see in your future? And here's mine. So that's one. The second one is that we're going to give you a link to some fortune cookie printables.
I like the way you said that.
I like to say the word printable. It's like one of my favorite words. I don't know why. So what you can do with these is you can print these out, and then either there's ones that have words. You're a gift in my life. You're deeply loved. And then there's blank ones. And then there's one that's kind of a combination that says my wish for you. And you can print those out, and you could either make a card or send it in the mail, or you could fill it out and take a photograph of it and text it to somebody or email it, which is easier. I know not everybody lives by a postal box, Rosemerry. I've heard you say.
Yeah, it's true.
Whereas what'd you just say? I lost you.
It's very hard to get to the post office here.
I know. Whereas I have a postal box 1 block away. So that's the second piece, so you could do that. The third one is even more fun, I think. So you could actually commit to making somebody fortune cookies. And it's actually a lot easier than you might think. And I have the instructions on my website. I'm going to give you that link. And it's also on the printable. But they look like this. Wait, this. And so you can either, which would be really nice right now, to go to a restaurant that's open that might have fortune cookies and buy some. And then you steam them open and you put the fortunes in and then you close them. Or you can bake them. So 3 levels.
That's a really, like, that's above and beyond like super agent. I think you get a super agent title if you actually buy fortune cookies, steam them open. Like that's actually a lot. That's a lot.
I know, but you know what? I thought it was, my boyfriend made them for me. And the first time I saw them, I was like, wow, how'd you do that? And then I started making them for people, and they're actually not that hard.
You just have to do it. You just commit to doing it.
You have to do it. It actually, I can make 10 of them in about 20 minutes.
Okay, that's not bad. That's bad. Good. And then you think about the payback from that, like the thrill of somebody opening a fortune cookie and finding a personalized fortune. The payoff for that one is huge.
So that, that's why we gave 3 levels though, right? So they're varying levels of time and effort. And I figured, maybe right now a lot of people are home and a lot of people are baking. You could even bake your own.
Okay, and on that note, I wanted to say that I actually, I knew in advance what our mission was going to be. And so I baked a loaf of bread for a neighbor of ours who's very, very sick. And so I was going to try and put the fortunes in the loaf of bread, which I just couldn't figure it out. So I ended up just I cut up a note card and I made 6 fortunes. 2 of them I wrote on, and then 4 of them I left blank, 1 for each person in their family. And I tied them up with a little bow, and I sent it with the bread and a little note to explain that they got to write their own fortunes. And so I guess I want to encourage people that you can adapt this for what you have. So if it seems like too much, like for me, actually right now, living where I live, very difficult to get to a place. I guess I could order them on Amazon and wait 3 weeks for them. But the other idea I have, if you're up for waiting 3 weeks, is look, I have these leather ones that someone gave me for Christmas one year. And you can, I put these in my children's lunch boxes all the time and give them these little, there it goes.
I'm trying to read what it says.
It says, you will have love all your life. So every now and then, maybe it'll say, you will do great on your test today or whatever it says. So I just want to say you can adapt this particular assignment in any number of ways.
Absolutely, right? I was just thinking as you were saying that too, again, back to people who are maybe more comfortable just using their phone to do something. Yeah, you could, I guess you could take a picture of, I guess I just take a picture of the printable, I guess. But I was trying to think, even if you didn't want to print it out, you could just grab a fortune cookie art from somewhere and text that to somebody with like, this is what I'm wishing for you right now.
Right.
Yeah, there's all kinds of ways to do it. We wanted to try and give you lots of different ideas. Anybody who's here watching live, I'd love to know, are you game? Are you in? Will you post? Will you let us know right now while we're still here so we can know if you're up for some fortune cookie fun?
Good fortune mission. I do know that Paula Lepp, who is on with us right now, has done this before. And
really?
Her husband, Bill Lepp, is a storyteller and even has a story that features a small Chinese restaurant where they were customizing fortunes and they could tell rumors and secrets in the fortune cookies that came out.
Oh my goodness. Maybe Paula will post that story for us.
Or at least the title, maybe. Yeah, I don't know if
it's not my big too
it's online or not, but it'd be great. Paula, if you can post the fortune cookie story in Secret Agents, that would sure be fun.
And of course, speaking of that, as always, Secret Agents, the second part of all this fun is really hearing your good news and for us to get to see, what you did, how you took this, how you made it your own, what the response was, how you felt, all of that. Yay, all of you. Thank you. It's fun to see all the I'm in. So be sure and post in the Facebook group and let us know your story.
Take pictures if you can, or just tell the story. Any way that you can inspire the rest of us to come up with other creative acts that we might do. Little ways. Sherry has this beautiful phrase: never underestimate the power of a simple act of kindness.
Wow, that was good. Yeah.
It's very close to that if it's not that.
Look at that, must be Paula. It's called, wait for it, Fortune Cookies.
What? That's the title, huh? Well, good.
So anything else before we go, Ms. Rosemerry?
Just that I really appreciate people taking the personal responsibility to find what's the most best, beautiful, generous, kind part of themselves and sharing that with the world. And that really is what we're asked to do. What we're asked to do all the time, but it's never been more apparent than right now. Just how necessary and how powerful that is.
Yeah, thank you. And I want to thank you for always bringing us your lovely poems and your presence. And again, just to underscore how much it means to have this community of people that we know, we know you're there. We know that you're coming from a place of love, and we always welcome your good news stories. So whenever you want to post in the group a personal story that's happened to you of kindness or something you've offered, we love it.
It's so true. I love reading them.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
All right. So off you go onto your missions, and we'll see you in the Facebook group, and can't wait to see all the good news.
Thank you, Secret Agents.
Mwah.
Thank you, Spy Master Sherry.
Thank you, Spy Master Rosemerry.